Next up, let's welcome Niina Mäntylä, who has studied as professor of public law. In research, Mäntylä wants to find solutions, not just point out problems in the legal system. Professori Mäntylä, lava on teidän.
Dear listeners, hyvät kuulijat, kära vänner. About 20 years ago, I was here exactly in this same place, but not giving a speech. I was singing. I was a solist of Vaasa City Orchestra. We had a concert of young solists, and I was singing aria from Puccini's opera, Tosca. And it's quite dramatic opera, so in the interview they were asking that why I had chosen that song, and my answer was because it includes enough action. So I had no idea that day that 20 years later I will be here as a professor of public law. But if you would ask now why I have chosen public law, I would give you exactly the same answer, because it's full of action. Who were there when the pandemic started, giving answers to the question of restrictions and constitutional limits? Public law researchers. Same thing now concerning the changing security environment. Public law researchers have had important role to give recommendations how to react to the risks on the Finnish eastern border, and at the same time how to secure the human rights. Yesterday I gave interview concerning legal framework of dual citizenship. So public law is always there where it happens. Public law controls the power of public entities, and it provides safeguards against arbitrary decisions. Also in challenging societal circumstances during crisis and in the state of emergency. During the pandemic, in climate crisis, and in challenging security environment. Megatrends. Because when exercising public authority, also special legal liability of civil servants and oversight are very important. So those megatrends and crises challenge these traditional control elements. And in our Nordic projects, the main observation has been that the modern public administration seems to require more precisely laid down obligations for action. And at the same time, we need to develop sanctions that could be imposed on public organizations, because the individual liability is problematic when, for example, AI and automated decision-making is taken into use. What comes to the separation of powers and its control elements, so it's always politically very hot topic. Recently, the critical attitude towards the highest overseas of legality expressed by government members in the case of closure of Finnish-Russia border was glaring example. And among others, the president of the Finnish Supreme Administrative Court found this very alarming. Sometimes also researchers who try to underline the values protected by constitutional law receive part of the strongest critique. So my science is brave. It promotes the justice, academic freedom, and also objectivity of science, also under the strongest pressure. Moreover, my science protects vulnerable people when their rights have been violated. It gives voice to people who can't use the legal remedies normally, for example, kids or elderly people. In our project related to school supervision, we have raised the lack of systematic supervision system of basic education in Finland, comparing the situation to the other Nordic countries. And we recognize that the lack of supervision system has led to problems in implementing children's rights, such as possibility to get educational support, so it varies by municipality. Through public law research, it is possible to bring up issues that require legislators' attention. Now the topic, developing school supervision, is in the government program. So recently, I haven't had very much time for singing because my science has been a little bit time-consuming. And because I have been training my 2 young horses, especially the one white one called Blondie. It has been a little bit challenging to educate that blonde, but for me, studying public law and the 20 years work at the University of Vaasa Administrative Sciences has offered excellent education and provide valuable skills for my research career. As well, I have studied law at the University of Helsinki. So I'm thankful to both universities. I'm also very thankful to my colleagues and collaborators here in Finland and abroad. I wouldn't have become a professor without you. Thanks to my family as well. My dad did not read fairy tales when I was a child. Instead, he made math assignments, which I used to solve when I went to sleep. This probably has developed my thinking skills. However, my biggest lesson learned during my career is that the collaboration and working together with different people, it really promotes the quality of science, my own development, and also the welfare in the society. Thank you.